Hello, you beautiful, beautiful, wonderful people. This is Sidrat Gaming. I am Sidrat. I am playing a selection of puzzles from the New York Times puzzle offerings for Saturday, July the 25th, 2026. This will be a bumper edition because it's being released on Sunday, and this video will include a Sunday puzzle as well. Happy days. There will also be other videos on the channel of me playing some games. Some Craft is already up, and I'll probably do a video of me trying to play Dyson Sphere program as well, which is again a great game, but I do struggle at the beginning because what you end up doing is building the factory, and then when you get the upgrades you tear everything down and start over and repeat. But it's still a fun exercise, and you've got other planets, but that's for the Dyson Sphere program. Anyway, we'll hit Wordle, and it's a slightly different layout because now you can see what's happening on the other side that was visible in the previous older videos. But yeah, strap in. It's going to be fun. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to not miss out on future videos, and let's start with Wordle. Day 65 streak. Let's go. So as usual, we'll hit the hints. We've got the hints on this side, so we'll scroll down. Wait. All right. We'll scroll down with the adverts loading in, making me lose my place. So this word contains an L and an A. And will my mind go blank? Yes. 5. Let's try that one. Alright, so what we can do now is enter in the information that we have. So it doesn't contain an E or a V today. Let's do strict order, and that brings up 91. There's quite a few beginning with A, isn't there? Actually, there's quite a few beginning with A, but let's try Asmus. Let's be global. It does begin with an A, which is excellent. And let's make that screen slightly bigger. So A goes there. We can remove. Actually, we'll just add a row. So that becomes, oh, there's 2 A's. Interesting. But it doesn't contain a T or an S. Right, so because we know it contains 2 A's, we can remove that one. Right, so we've got amplify, a lower. So it's down to, I think it's down to 2 that I can see. Let's try alpha. PH. Okay, it's not alpha. AL. PA. Nope, HA, sorry. HA. AL. AL. Something HA. This is going to be fascinating. So it doesn't contain the letter P. Right. It was a lower. Right, okay. Wow, word blindness there. Right. But we did that in 4. If you're playing along and you did it less, stick it in the comments. And also, of course, let me know where you're watching the video from. And the time zone, because that's always interesting to get your feedback on. The next game is going to be Connections. I'm using Connections Copilot. Life is too short to worry about not using hints and cheats, and well, not necessarily cheats, but certainly hints, and so that we can get pointed in the right direction. Bring up Connections. We are on We are on a 4-day streak. So let's bring up that one. I'll leave that one there because you can now see both sides of the screen. And we've got these 4 words in their category. So the trouble is I have no idea how long these are going to take to do and complete. And we'll turn the grid back on like so. So that's yellow, choke is green, category, Nera is blue. I have no idea what Nera is, and poker is purple. Nothing actually screams out. I don't know what Hijo Kwanzaa is, so maybe Madre, Hijo, Primo would be first, choke. Right. So we've got Abuela, Nera, Hijo, Kwanzaa, Madre, Leone. Sierra Madre, Leone. Let's have a look. Let's do Hijo. If I can actually type, of course. Meaning, so that's Spanish. I think Leone is Spanish as well, isn't it? Means lion, Italian. Okay, French and Spanish. Leon. Madre. So these, Nera, IRA. Context, right, okay, gift ready. Yeah. Abuela. Grandmother or grandma in Spanish. So that's Spanish. Wasn't Leon? That means lion, doesn't it? I know there's Sierra Leone. That's a country on the African continent. And then there's the purple for poker as well. Abuela. This isn't the best puzzle for a Saturday morning, is it? It's not going to ease you into the weekend. More like grab you by the throat and throttle you, really. Talking of which, there's choking green as well. Primo, that's like first. Mal, well, tier, check. Nera. Let me do. Let's get rid of that one. Right, okay, can't do it anymore. Never mind. We've got Abela, we've got Naira, Kwanzaa. Oh, is it a currency, is it? Is anything else a currency? Ooh. Kwanzaa, Naira, currencies. Rand is a currency. Is it a Hija? No. Because I could be going down the wrong route as well. No way. Oh, Sierra Leone pound sterling. Right. Sierra Leone. Oh, that is its currency. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's nice. Club. Club. Tear, mist, mole, well, and stake. Stake is a club. Can you have a poker club? A stake. Yes, it's a pointed club, but you've got a club there. So, poker, club, stake, and maul. Maul, as in the weapon. Big club. It may be a stretch, but I can't see anything else. Choke. 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 Abuela. Abuela. So that if that means grandmother, Andre, Primo, and what was Hija? Hija. Son, right, okay. So that's like sons and mothers. Wow, for a yellow, that's astonishing. Choke, missed, choke up, missed up, tear up, and well up. Okay. If this grid is correct, that's an astonishing puzzle. And if you didn't need to use Google or even the Connections Copilots or the hints here, you're amazing. You have a breadth of knowledge that you should actually be proud of. Also question where you got that information from and when. And post it down in the comments, because that would be fascinating to understand where the information, retained information, is comes from. So we've got poker, club, stake, and mole. Well, I've got it. Let's have a look to see if it's right. Okay, strip club, strip mole, strip poker. Saucy for a Saturday. Okay, and we've got Kwanzaa, Nero, Rand, and Leone. Yay. Choke. Choke, missed, tear, well up. There we go. That's looking good. Yellow. Wow. Okay. Spanish relatives. Okay. If you speak Spanish, then that should be obvious. But if you don't, that's not obvious. As well as the blue for currencies, which I believe are all African countries. I think it said that on there. Let's have a look at these. So 64% solve rate today, which is impressive. I did find that difficult. I think what did help me was actually recording this. That because then I was going to be verbally vocalizing my thought process, which for some reason worked a lot faster than it normally does. So let's have a look. So that's 1 and 1/16. That is absolutely fantastic. What I will do now, if I can. Dun, dun, dun. Right. Stick that one over there. Scroll on down. Leave a comment. I do like to leave comments on the connections companion. You'll see me as Sidrat, and I'm just marking down a really nice puzzle with specific knowledge required or ability to use Google. I think the only currency that I recognized was the Rand. But yeah, that is phenomenal. Right, so let's go back to the bot. 64% solve rates, which is really good. At the time of recording, there's 612 and 612,702 people who have played this particular game. 1 and 1/16 from 612,702 games played. Process required is fascinating. Right, okay. So yeah, you need to know Spanish, African, and then you've got the last two. I don't know. I think blue should have blue is African countries being blue, purple being the strip malls. I think that should have been lower. Although, as you can see, most people guessed yellow. Maybe Spanish is a much more common language than I would have thought it would be. But yeah, congratulations. And the mistakes, there's no obvious like full color rainbow as in a red herring, which I believe there was yesterday. But you got a lot of people mixing up blue with yellow and yellow with blue. Family names, almost African currencies, almost. Spanish, yep. Spanish families' names, Spanish family, Spanish relatives. Right. These are all the mistakes. So 18% of people guess this, and obviously it's not correct. 7%, right? Okay. So 3%. 3% correctly guessed purple. First of all, maybe they didn't even know it was purple, because that could have been a blue. But the blue 39%, and then primo tier check missed. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Right. But that was connections. What a wonderful puzzle. I'm not mad at that. Surprisingly, that's good. Let's move on to strands. We have a 14-day streak going. Let's see if we can make it 15. And obviously, again, life's too short. Use what you can. We've got dresses. We've got, is that a penny for dress? Frocks and Smocks is the title. And right off the bat, let's have a look at the board. Let's see if something obvious sticks out. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to wonder why I've got an empty cup of coffee. I'm going to pause the video. Can I pause the video? Okay. Yeah, I found the pause button, so I'm going to make a coffee. You will see that page there for the interlude. And I will be back straight away, but in reality, it won't be straight away. I am back, and the coffee is good. Let's go back to the screen. Let's make sure that I am recording. This is excellent. So, with my hot coffee, black, tiny bit of sugar to take the edge off, we'll take a look at the board. Frocks and smocks. I don't know where to start. Would that be fabrics? Would that be styles? Would that be... okay. Would that be requiring of a hint? Yes. Hint number 1. That's T going down to U. Tunic. Right. So that's... I think that's a style. You wear... right, okay. We've got the spanogram. You wear it well. Excellent. So we've got 2 out of the 7. We've got 5 more to do. So the space on the right, would that be 1, 2, 3? That could be 1 or 2. Gown. So if that's gown, it's kimono. Excellent. Kimono. All right. And there's lots of U's going on. What the... Help me out in the comments, because you path what? No. Pound. Malala. Malala probably isn't something that exists. What's hints? Alright, that was hint 2. Right, okay, hint 1 was over there as well. Right, third and final hint. 4 up, second across. So that's P and I. Pinafore. Pinafore. There we go. Once you've got the stars, it can be slightly easier. Slightly. What's that one? Didn't. Red. Didn't. Right, there's 2 left, but in red. It's got to be something. Dindum. Adnrid. That's not a word. This is weird. This is absolutely bizarre. But we've got 2 left, so does it go like that? No. Thank goodness. But if it doesn't, then what does it do? Because we've got to fit 2 in there. Dindle. Molten red. Let's do anagram solver, multiple words. There we go. Let's see if that's going to help. It might not. U, M, U, M. Goodness me. We know there's a maximum of 2 words, so let's see if it doesn't. DIRNDL UUM. Full dictionary. Right. Wow. Dundle. I'm going to have to look that one up. What is a dundle? If I click on it. A dress with a light bodice and full skirts, a full skirt with a gathered waistband. A dundle. Right. And a muumuu. M-U-U. M-U-U. A muumuu. A woman's loose, unbelted dress. A Hawaiian dress that is usually long, loose-fitting, and decorated with bright colours. Wow. Let me Google this one so that we can have a look. Images. There we go. Light bodice, skirt. Yeah, right. Okay. That's actually really nice. You've got so many different options, patterns, design. I'm not going to say I'm going to remember the word because that would be a stretch, but that's not a bad puzzle. Not a bad puzzle at all. There we go. Next up, crossword time. Yay. Which doesn't mean to say that you are angry. It's just the puzzle name. This is the mini. Wow. Okay, the mini's got bigger. Okay. So one down. Running joke. Gag. Yeah. Commodity whose price has risen sharply in 2026. Oil. Extremely long time. Epoch, era, ages. Are we there yet? No. Fuel economy measurements. This is American, so is it miles per gallon? Yeah. Right, okay. And what's 1 across? Good luck out there. Go guess them. Again, English crosswords would have 2-3-2 so that you know it's not one word. Quite annoying that the Americans don't. Right, so A file sharing method between two Apple devices. AirDrop. I'm not an Apple user, but I do get some of the lingo. Sticking together with paste, gluing, and 10 across, org with a draft lottery. Draft lottery, is that the American football? No? NBA? Right, okay. 3 down, made a sound of exertion, grunted. Yeah, especially when getting up off a chair or down onto a chair. If you're not grunting when you're doing either of those activities, congratulations, but it's something to look forward to. AO of the bear. What? AO, is that the name of the actor? 5 down. Assessed for priority as in the ER. Triaged. 11 across, unable to relax. Ooh. What's 11 down? Alternative to a lightning cable. USB. Okay. 12 down. Book fair group for shorts. Book fair. Book fair group. No. Soil loosening tool. All. No. Okay. Spade. Trowel. Fork. Yeah. I am not a gardener. Org that issues known traveller numbers. This, of course, would be American. Known traveller numbers. I am definitely not familiar with it. Sorry, you should be able to read that. That's fine. A known traveller number. Oh! Known a traveller number for groups, usually known traveller number KTN. No. TSA? Right, okay. I still was... Okay. Used for group airline reservations and TSA pre-check. Right, okay. Yeah. 16 across. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I thought it was like beware, be warned. No. Buddy, stop. No. Buddy, what was that one? Book for group. Okay. 15 across. Surround sound systems. Stereos. Does that help with 12 and 13 down? No. What's 4 down? Oh, AO of the bear. AYO. Eddie. Alright, okay. American actress. BIRI. Right, okay. 11 across. Uptight. And Ho is 13 down. And 16 across is a bad idea, so 12 down. Book fair group PTA. Parent Teachers Association. Is that really a book fair group? Is it? Okay. 623, slightly longer than I would normally like to get it, but it was slightly larger width puzzle. But that's fine. You have like there. So let's get on with the MIDI. And the MIDI will turn on auto check, of course. And let's begin. Let me take that one off. So, members of a benevolent and protective order. Is that like the Masons and stuff? What's 4 down? Number on a beach bottle. Beach bottle. Is that like a SPF factor? Wow. Okay. 3 down. C major, etc. Well, that would be a chord or a key. There we go. 2 down. Reason for a redo in tennis. That would be a false, wouldn't it? Or an out. No. Outs wouldn't allow for a redo anyway. 7 down. Marvin of Motown. As a Motown fan, that is Marvin Gaye. And if you haven't heard of, check him out. If you have you heard him recently? Still, definitely check out some Marvin Gaye for some cool vibes. 6 down. Chooses. Selects. Picks. Pick. No. What's 5 across? Chihuahua. Okay, so that's a dog. So chooses, opts. It's an O. Org that monitors air and water quality. That would be the EPA, if they're still doing things like that. Clear as a cold windshield. Clear as a cold windshield. Defog. That's a bit of a stretch, really. But okay, I understand the thought process behind it. What spectacles rest on? 14 across. That would be your nose. Assisted by ears. Usually. 12 down. Opposite of guilty in accent. Nice. 19 across. Caramel filled foil wrapped treat. Ending in O. And of course it's going to be American, so no clue. 18 down. Not feeling well. Ill. 17 down. Foul resting places. It's not nest boxes. Foul. Things like chicken. Coops. C-O-U-P-S. It's not coops either. Let's move along. 15 across. Digits plus digits equal phone call sound. Digits. It's not beeping because the answer is too long. 8 down. A ways away. A long way? A ways away. Could that be related to time? It's not ages, but it does begin with A. Afar. It could relate to time and distance, but I think it's mainly distance for that one. Singer Grande's, Ariana Grande's Fragrance, launched in 2015. Blimey. I don't wear it. I've never bought it for anyone. So let's Grande's Fragrance 2015. Ari. Huh. Right, okay. Nice. Are there any reviews? Ari reviews. Fragrance review, that's the word. It's a sweet to goody and fruity floral fragrance featuring prominent notes of raspberry, marshmallow, and pear. Typically under £30 for fragrances. That's actually not bad. Everyday Compliments Magnet. There you go. Free plug for Ariana Grande, because of course she needs one, in the New York Times MIDI crossword puzzle on a Saturday, July the 25th, 2026. But the letters do fit in the grid, so why not? 9 down. The virtual assistant that voiced the Bats computer in the Lego Batman movie. Virtual assistant. I don't use virtual assistants that I'm aware of. So which ones do I know the name of? Right now, my mind is a blank. Let's move forward. 11 across. Oh, 2 digits plus 2 digits evenly split. 50-50. Yay. 2 down. Reason for a redo in tennis. And it's not outs. It's not sets. Nets. Let's. There we go. Not a fan of tennis. People that can play, go for it. But it's not for me. Members of Benevolent Elks. There we go. I thought that was made up for The Simpsons or something. But it's actually real, apparently. No worries. 1 down, Sprite-like. Elfin. And 8 across, Asleep on the Job. And that would be Siri, because number 9 down has popped into my head. Ringing. Ring ding, no, ring ding, no, okay. What's that? Foul resting places. Right, let's have a look at that one. Resting places. Reportedly. Ring. Roost. Roosts. Right. So would that be a solo? No. Rolo. Camera filled foil wrapped treat. Rolo? Are they foil wrapped? Okay. It's been a while since I've had a Rolo, to be honest. But do you love anyone enough to give them your last Rolo? If you do, stick it in the comment. Let everyone know, as well as them, if you show it to them, or if they come across it. 16 down. Don't be so childish. Grow up. How many times have you heard that in your life? Yeah. Diggits plus Diggits equal Rogers Vats. Nothing springs to mind. Could it be something? Tool something? Nope. Will craft Diggits. What's 24 down? Cassette tapes, something. MP3s, that must be CDs. Because I was there from the beginning, that time line. 29 across. List in craft kit instructions. List in craft kit instructions. Steps. Right, okay. I was thinking more along the lines of the contents and inventory, but no, it's the list of to-do actions and how to achieve the final result. 25 down, batch as an auction, that would be a lot. Lot, as in lot number. It could be one item, it could be a number of items. So yeah. And 27 across, it might be glazed or cream filled. Donut. And 24 across, quaint bathtub supports, that would be claws. Absolutely decorative, but it is part of the legs as well. If you've got legs on your bathtub, definitely let us know, because that's the fact that you have a bathtub, quite exciting. Don't see much of them in like new builds in England anymore. It's normally a wider shower in the bathroom, or a wet room with seating. But yeah, right, okay. Digits plus digits equal roger, that's still blank. 30 across, something delicious cake. Nope. 28 across, seaweed sushi wrapper. Seaweed sushi wrapper. No. 23 down, braids of orchids, perhaps. It's not a bouquet. 23 down, Shrek or Fiona. Oh, they're not trolls. They're swamp things, aren't they? Oh no. Oh no. I love Shrek. Ogre. Right. Oh dear. 21 down. Excuse me, before 21 down, little sip of my coffee. Lovely. One may cause you to sniff and grimace. Odor. A bad one. Tray Lich's cake. Never heard of it. Don't know it. Brace of orchids. No. This one here. What's 20 down? Walking stick. Cane. Ah, dig it. Cool, cool. Okay. Cool, cool. Braids of orchids, perhaps L. Is it Lees? L-I-E-S? L-I? No. No, it'll be L-E. Seaweed sushi wrapper. L-E-I-S. Ah! 2 minutes over my preferred time to complete the MIDI crossword, but that's okay. I am going slower so I can speak and be heard, or at least understood. So that's not too bad. What's the time? 48 minutes so far in this video. That is your Saturdays. Saturday the 25th of July puzzles. Stick around, because there will be the Sunday the 26th of July in the same video as well. So I will look forward to recording that. In the meantime, all you've got to do is don't press stop and stick around. Thank you. Welcome back, you beautiful people. This is part 2. So this will be the Sunday, July 26th Wordle and other puzzles. I am Sidrat from Sidrat Gaming, and yeah, let's get on. So we'll switch the screen so we know what we're doing. And without any further ado, let's begin Wordle. There we go. Let's have a look here. So as usual, life is short. So we'll check the hints page. Today's Wordle has a P and an A. Oh, is it apple? No, but it does have an E in it. Let's put that one there, and then the AP into here. Click on that box, exclude the letter L, and that's wow. Okay, that's reduced the options to 10. We've got DG, PP, PP, PPP. Right. Okay. I'm going to try pause. It is a Sunday after all. Oh, it doesn't begin with the P. Okay. S-H-A. So, let's try shape. Because we've only got drape, grape, shape, or top, which is nice. Drape, grape, S-H-A-P-E. Shape. Doesn't begin with S. And it ends in A-P-E. So we've got grape or drape. We're now 50-50. Drape. No, it was grape. Every single time I get a 50-50, I picked the wrong one. But it's still being completed. It did take 5 guesses, but yeah, if you've solved it in 5 or under, or if you didn't, leave a comment. Let me know how you went for this Sunday. So that's Wordle. Let's move on to connections. And we've got the co-pilots board up because that's a great third-party app, the greatest, in fact. Connections companion 1141. Let's scroll down here. And we've got the first groupings just to make things a little bit easier, or a lot easier. I don't know. It's certainly more manageable with them than without. Trust me, I've tried. It does not make for a good video without knowing where to start. Liquid sunshine. That's whiskey, isn't it? Or mead? Is there a drinking? Maybe. Gas station. Gas station. Right. Okay. Let's have a look at the grid properly then. Solid food, pasty crust, plasma TV, Scotch mist, blackberry, rowing boat. First words, April showers, wet weather, carapace, DVD player, crawling. Right, running over Discman, DVD player, plasma TV, and blackberry. Things that were once upon a time ubiquitous. I know people with DVD players. I don't know if they use the DVD player much, but they do have DVDs and DVD players and Blu-rays and all the rest of it. If I had VHS and Betamax, then that would be the definite technology that no longer exists or is used. It does exist. It'll always exist, but is it in vogue? Do you see anyone walking around with a Discman these days? No, me neither. So, rolling over. Pastry. And you've got weather. Rolling over. First words, wet weather. Wet weather, liquid sunshine, April showers, Scotch mist. Right, okay. Rolling over, crawling, first words, and solid foods. So we've got gas station, rowing boat, carapace, and pastry crust. Okay. I'm not happy with that as a first iteration. And I can't explain why. Gas station rowing boats. Carapace. That's like armor or a solid shell of a beetle. Liquid sunshine, Scotch mist. There's nothing that I can see alcohol related, but okay. So you got sunshine, you got weather, you got wet weather, April showers, Scotch mist. So what's this liquid sunshine then? All right. We've got 4 guesses anyway, so let's try purple, starting with gas station, and then rowing boat, carapace, and pastry crust. Wow. What shell might... yeah, okay. Shell. The rowing boat shell. Okay. Wow. So we've got liquid sunshine, wet weather, April showers. Where is it? There it is. And then Scotch mist. That's your blue. Green. Discman, Blackberry, DVD player, plasma TV. There we go. Outmoded consumer tech. And this is baby related things. Baby milestones. There we go. All right. That was nice. That was simple. Let's do connections. There we go. Let's put that one there. We'll quickly type our comments. There's 202 comments so far at the time of recording. Fun little puzzle today. Normally, Saturday and Sunday puzzles, for some reason, they're much harder. I don't know if it's because I'm doing them later in the morning after having had so many more things to catch up with. But yeah, that was a fun brain exercise. The little grey cells are firing on all cylinders by the look of it. Right, let's have a look to see how we done compared to others. Wow, 96% success rate on 1 million games played. So yeah, the vast majority completed it. 71%, no mistakes. 3% made 3, and 4% failed, which is phenomenal in this game. What's this one? 1 in 94. Yeah, which makes it very common indeed. Okay. So 23, 46. Yeah, most people saw the. I'm going to say the 2 obvious. Consumer tech and the baby milestones, the 2 obvious, scored 76% as first guesses, all by themselves. Well, together. So yeah, and the mistakes. There we go. You got yellow, blue, green, purple. That could fit in the same category. Obviously, they're not using Connections Copilot, and good for them. And that's states of matter: liquid, solid, plasma, gas. That is, oh my goodness, that is a red herring of epic proportions. And then you've got, okay, that's a bit of a stretch, but yeah, I'm not here to mock people's wrong guesses. Goodness knows I've come up with some shockers in my time, off camera. But yeah, 40% guessed yellow, 9% guessed the red herring. as the first guess, which is absolutely fine. That means 9% must play without using any hints whatsoever. And 9% of a million is quite a large number of individuals. If you're one of those individuals, please do leave a comment and tell me why you choose not to play with hints and tips and how long it takes, or how long do you spend on connections themselves. And do you do it in the morning? Do you do it in the evening? Is it something you don't do every single day, or do you do it at a specific time as like part of your routine? It'll be fascinating. Thank you. Second guess was blue. That's fine. 83, 100%. Right, okay. Right, that was fun. That was fun indeed. Let's hit strands. And strands is, we're on a 15-day streak for strands. July 26, 2026. That's fine. Bring up the hints, stick them on the other side so I can see what's going on. So can you. But first of all, before I scroll down, we've got a genie in a lamp. With wristbands on, sweatbands. I don't know what that is. And boy, could we do with them. But never mind. Right. So all-knowing, and that's genie in a lamp. Let me. Ooh. No, maybe I'm not spelling it right. But I think that's like a horse thing. But yeah. T-I. Right, okay. No. We're also looking at for the for the big word as well, or phrase. There's normally a phrase, which could go across or vertically. Let's hit hint number 1 to give us a starting place. That's an E followed by an X. Oh, right, okay. Experts. Are experts all-knowing? All-knowing in a very narrow field of expertise. No, okay, is it big brain? We've got the spangram. I thought it was spanogram. Spangram. Okay. Right. What's it? No. Nupty. Pundits. Right, wow, that took longer than it should have done. Right, sorry about that. They are definitely not all-knowing. I think it's more opinion-based. But anyway, what do we have here? Specialist. There we go. Right, that is helpful because I was worried about how this section would work. But we've got 3 words left. And Maven isn't really an expert, but I'll take it. I thought Maven was someone who helps put people together. Recognizes where people would fit better together. A good trait to have if you're in management or team lead roles. Also just a nice person. Authority, where is it? Authority, there we go. And then guru. Wonderful. As nice time for these 3 puzzles now in under 17 minutes. Rock on. And we only needed the starter hints as well. So that was connections. Now we work on mini. Yesterday's mini was bigger than usual. I'll be fascinated to see what Sunday's is going to be like. There we go. That's more of the traditional length, width, cell size. 1 of 5 for most starfish. Leg. No. Fins, what do they call it? 1 of 5. Eyes? Senses? No? Okay. Around 14 to 29 for most members of Gen Z. What? Ages, right, okay. 1 of 5 for most starfish. No, I still don't know. That one was 4 across. Flyers in a V. Geese. French fashion magazine. Gonna put L. 5 down. 2020 Pixar movie. Oh no. 2020. That was only, what, 6 years ago? Pixar movie. Gonna have to come back to that one. Mine is a blank on that. 7 across. Sing the praises of. Ooh. No. Extol. There we go. And then 8 across. Capital of South Korea. That is Seoul, if I can spell it right. There we go. Add 9 across. Bottom of a shoe. Oh. Which is Seoul. Okay, and 2 down. T Rexes. Okay. And then 3 down. Yeah, same. Me too. Oh. 1 of 5 for most starfish is an arm. Is that really an arm? Okay. Okay. 227. As I'm providing commentary over the video, then that's absolutely fine. Where's the MIDI? The MIDI one. The MIDI for Sunday, July 26th is called Doing Laps. Yeah. And we're doing laps around a wall by the look of it. So what is it? A prison courtyard? Never mind. Let's check that one there. Hot stone massage locale. That must be spa. A very popular word in Crosswords, I've noticed. Gear tooth. Cog. Gear tooth. Cog. Okay. Letters before an alias. AKA. Right, wow. 8 down, restless place, that's the I. 7 down, four-wheeler in a market. That would be like a trolley. Carts, right, so that's the American version of the word trolley for the UK. Richardson, who plays Jack Reacher, that would be Alan, a very, very nice man, unless you annoy him, which is fair enough. Don't annoy him, he's bigger than you. And Reacher is a great series, do check it out if you haven't already done so. Also, read the books. The books are quite entertaining too. 4 across. Something to yourself, get ready for impact. Brace! Brace! There we go. And 10 across, events with teams of runners. We all know that would be relay, probably. And 12 across, your problems matter to me. Your problems matter to me. I care. Right, okay. With the American puzzles, you don't know if it's one word or two, or even three. Just one of those things. I wish it would be normalized. The UK and I think Australia has the number of words in each number of letters in each word, just in brackets next to the clue. And I kind of missed that. 1 down, the Lion King villain, Scar. That's an answer that came up a few days ago, I'm sure. Certainly this week. Check the previous videos. Jabbed with a finger. Poked. Poked. 3 down, banded gem. Banded gem. AGA, I don't know that one. 13 across, inclined to keep one's emotions close to the chest. Reticent? Yes. Alright, 3 down is a gate. There we go. And 15 across, cubicle fixtures would be desks. Could be chair, but it begins with a D, so that was the most obvious answer. 5 down, play period at school, recess. I think we call it break time or play time. Recess would be something more in the way of an alcove situation in England. But 14 down, compound with a chemical variance. Compound with a chemical variance. I'm sure I will learn more about this as I'm playing through Atom Craft. Check the other playlist for those videos. More coming soon. 14 down, compound with a chemical variance. I'm going to say I don't know that one. So let's do 4 down. Indianapolis Motor Speedway's nickname with the Brickyard. There we go. 16 across, Pearl Producer, that's Oyster. 19 down. 400 events. 400 events on July 26, 2026 at the 4 down. Oh. Indy Brickyard. If it's at Indianapolis, I thought it was the Indy. No, that's the Indy 500, isn't it? Doing laps. Alright, let's do 27 across. Number that appears in loneliest number appropriately. 1. Okay, 25 across. Month in which Omisaka is celebrated. Is it May? No. Oh, it's abbreviated, right? Okay. I thought they did that in February, March. No, right. It's December. Oh, right. Okay. So they celebrate New Year's Eve the same month that we do. Yeah. Haha. 17 down. To-do list. 18 down. Like all multiples of 2, which would be even, and 23 across. Eggs at an IVF lab. Over. Race 400. That can be right. No. But yeah, fair play. It is a race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But it's, what, 400 laps instead of the Indy 500? Maybe I'm making it up. I don't know. But anyway, compound isotope. No, it's not, because that has an E at the end. But that's the only scientific word that popped into mind, so I gave it a try before thinking properly. 26 across. Birthday greeting in an inbox. E-card. Right, so all of these circles, which is too late now, has RAC or CRA in some description. Car, RAC, RAC. Right, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Mined metallic rock, that would be ore. 21 down. Tampa Bay football player, informally. Bucks. Okay, and what's 20 across? President who signed the Affordable Care Act into law, Obama. And 24 across. Stick that might measure a foot, ruler. And that's been done. 8 minutes, absolutely fine, especially with the commentary as well. And we've got cars racing around the outside. I thought that was a wall. Okay. I guess you can race on brick. But anyway, that's the groups. We could do more, but no, that's absolutely fine because this is a double episode. It's going to be a long video, and if you've stuck with me, thank you so much. It is appreciated, as usual. Okay, you have a great day because you're beautifully delicious, and please do something kind for a stranger, do something amazing for a loved one, and I will see you next time. Take care.